let's develop an application. First, we'll start off the browser, go to startvaadin.com, download the project from there. It's called a skeleton, walking skeleton that has Java. Let's start the application with the Visual Studio Code Insiders and see what it looks like. There's some error from an old project, then let's just open this guy up, folder, go to downloads and North Pole job schedule. That's the very name of the application. Looks like it has some changes already, but there's nothing listed here, so I'll just commit this with the initial commit. I don't know what's up with that. I'm going to be using Cline for this, and I'm not using Google Gemini 2.5 Pro because it doesn't work. Here's the proof. Run this app, bro. Cannot do anything. There's just an error, so let's switch to something that actually works, and that's VS Code LM API and Claude 2.5 Sonnet, which is available there. So if I do the same thing, run the app, bro, it actually is able to run the application, as you'll see soon. Took a long time there. No idea what that is about. So it figured the file structure, that it's a Java Maven project, has a Maven wrapper file with which you can run it. Oh, actually, I'm in the plan mode, so asking it to run it cannot do that, of course. So that's a different thing to plan for it. So yeah, actually, I don't want to do this, and I've used now 29,000 tokens already out of my 1 million that I get in an hour to use, I think, for free with the GitHub Copilot. So what I'll just do is, please toggle act mode so I can execute the necessary command to run the application. Okay, let's just do that. Let's see if it figures it out, how to run this application. So it adds the +X. Okay, that's nice. Did it figure out that it's not executable? Maybe, but looks like it's able to do that, and the application is up and running. Test. Let's do a test and then put the due date for today, and just to see what kind of application this is. Yeah, it's a very simple one, looks like, where I have a list of to-dos, but I don't have a means of actually setting them to done for some reason. Don't know why. And there's also view profile, manage settings, and logout buttons that don't do anything. Well, that's fine. Let's put this guy to the side, and as long as it snaps to the responsive mode, I like this one. And then put this guy to the left side so we can see what we're dealing with, how the application is getting run. Next, I'm going to go to plan mode once again, and then ask for suggestions of changes. So to suggest some changes to this application. Because in the age of AI, of course, I don't want to do anything myself. I'm just letting the AI do whatever it wants. So kind of let it run rampant in the background there. Let's examine the to-do related files to understand the current implementation and identify potential improvements. So it's reading the to-do Java, to-do service Java, to-do view Java files. After analyzing the code base, here's several suggested improvements for the application. Okay, so it's looking to add task status management, to set it to new, in progress, and completed, add status filtering in the UI, implement status toggle buttons in the grid. Okay, so actually I don't want it to do that. Let's do the first part, task status management. Let's just do the management, but instead of having the buttons in the grid, put them somewhere else in the UI so that it is more usable. Okay, let's see what it does. Again, I'm still in the plan mode. Okay, I'll outline the plan for implementing task status management with an improved UI layout. UI improvements, add status filter dropdown, Add a separate status selection component. Add status column to the grid. Status changes will show success notification. Okay, so it shows a selection component when you select it. This will be more user-friendly than cramming buttons in the grid. So it's taking what I asked it to. And should we proceed with this plan, I need you to toggle the act mode. Okay, let's just see what it does. Let's take a leap of faith here. And I'll make this... Actually, I likely don't need... Well, let's just show. It's going to do some changes, so maybe it's good to see what type of changes it's going to do there. So it added this task status enum there. New in progress and completed. Now it broke the application, looks like, because this Safari can't connect to the server, or maybe it's just restarting the application. Yep. And now it's changing the to-do. Added some things there. The status. Now the to-do service. Create to-do and added the status there. Nice. And by the way, I have this on auto approve mode, which means it's kind of approving everything that it wants to do. So I'm just giving it full reign. This is a VM, so I don't really care what's happening here. If I want to, I can just nuke this from the orbit and start from scratch. Application is running in the background. No idea why it doesn't actually refresh. Maybe I'll just refresh the browser myself, because there's some error there related to the task status and being pageable. Changing to repository file now. Find by status. So it was missing that. There's a combo box now in the view. Now I need to update the UI to add status management. I'll make these changes to to-do view. Add status filter, drop down in the toolbar, add status column with colored badges, add status management when a row is selected. Okay, cool. Let's see if it's able to do that. Okay, there we have it. And does it work? Diff edit mismatch. The model used search patterns that don't match anything in the file. Retrying. Because it's trying to make the styling changes now next to the status badges. Okay, there's a bunch of things for new, in progress and completed. Using Luma primary color for the background and Luma primary text color for the new one. Orange for the in progress and completed is going to be success, so that's green. Oh, what do we have here? API request failed. What's up with this? Let's actually retry that. I'll use write to file to add our status batch styles. That should work. Let's try again. Okay, there it is. And now it's rerunning it for some reason. And it's still running already here, so now there's going to be a conflict. It's going to be running at the same port, 8080. Or is it? Yeah, so the other one just failed. I need to update the integration test to match the new method signatures for the create to-do and list. Okay, go ahead. I didn't even know that there's test for this one, but it's good that it's able to change those two. Let's see in the meantime what it looks like. So test. There's that. What is this? Okay, so if I select this, I can set it to a different state, like in progress. But it looks like this actually doesn't work yet. So when I change that, it's not doing anything. And there's a filter. Okay, now it's doing something again. It's trying it, running at a different port. Yeah, at this point, I guess I'm just gonna have to cancel that. Yeah, let's just cancel that. Stop this guy. And so tell it that the app is running in the background already. Let's see if it can figure out what to do next. 336,000 tokens being used at the moment. Context window just 15K. Since the app is already running in the background, I can complete the task by presenting the final result to the user. Final result is this on non-working application. So refreshing the browser doesn't do anything. So I guess I'll just, oh, it's running in the, oh yeah, let's change that. So let's change that. Well, instead of that, I'm just going to be changing the port now to 8081. Test. Let's put a due date for tomorrow. Create it. And let's see if I can actually change the status now. It's actually not that usable. So if I select, I can do this, but it does not change that status. New task. Create. Oh, it actually does, but it just doesn't refresh the grid. So when I did change this to in progress, it works, but the data provider is not getting called. So let's tell it to test the application. Looks like there's an issue with the status, with changing the status. When I select item and set it to in progress, the status does not get updated. Can you try it yourself with a browser, please? Let's see if we can do that. It does have the ability to use a browser through an MCP, Model Context Protocol, so it should be able to do that. Cline wants to use the tool Playwright. Okay, it's opening Chrome now. It's using the wrong port because it's 8081. So let's see if it's able to figure that out. Okay, 8081. Okay, there he is. Now we can see that there's a task that is completed. Can it actually do something with this? Let's put this guy on the side so we can see both. Filled input, task added. So it was able to add a task. That's impressive. And clicked element. Cline wants to use Vaadin grid cell content selector, clicked element again. Test task. That's so the third task is the one that the client created via Playwright. Can it figure out the issue? So it's trying to click the combo box, but it doesn't exist. Okay, so it waited for 30 seconds. Couldn't find that, and the reason was that it didn't select an item on the grid. So I could have helped it by selecting that, then it would have been able to see that. So what's the API request now? Okay, now it's doing some changes. Set selection mode, okay. Oh, I see the issue. Looking at the to-do view code, there might be a problem with the grid selection handling. Let me fix it for you. Damn, it's fast when it really does things. So it added this refresh all. Or changed that somehow. I didn't even see that. Now it's restarting the application. Wonder which port it's using. At least my Safari is looking good here, that it's ready. Browser closed successfully, so it actually closed the browser. Let's create a test task. That's new. Now if I change it to in progress, oh, it works. Thank you so much. Now it should be able to figure out that things are done, at least from my perspective. And okay, it's launching the browser again. Is it able to test it this time around? Let's see. Status task test. Status task test. Status test task. I cannot speak. So is it able to create that? In progress. Yeah, the one I started is in progress. Is it able to change the new task to be in progress or something? But this is kind of fascinating just to see what it's able to do and figure out things on the fly with very limited amount of information. And it's completely automatic, almost, for the most part. 543K tokens used. I read somewhere that there's 1 million tokens that you can use via Copilot API. Not sure if that's true. Guess we'll find out. Okay, it's still not able to do. At this point, I'm just going to stop it. I think I'm pretty fine with this approach, or what it got so far. So let's look at the code quickly. So here's the changes. Oh, this is the change that existed beforehand. So the styles look like this. So I'm not sure if it actually implemented the batches. Well, maybe it did, because it has some colors. Tank status, to-do was changed. Just put the status there. Repository, new method. Service has a new method and filter possibility, a list as well. And to-do view, most changes are here. So combo box. I'm not really happy with the UI, but I think it's good enough for now. And this doesn't really need to change. I'm just going to revert that. Revert block. And integration test. Would be fun to actually run this and see if it actually works. But let's commit this. So add it. Oh, hold on. I'm not doing that myself. Please commit the code to Git and write a good commit message. Thank you, Nabao. It's good to be courteous with these AI so they don't take over, or if they do take over, that at least you're not in the line of sight for them. I'll create a commit message that includes all the changes. So it added them to the staging area, to the commit. And okay, add task status enum, implement status field into the entity, add status filtering, and as UI with status management features, filter dropdown, and integration test, and fix the grid refresh after status updates. That's awesome. Thanks a lot. Let's see. All right, I think we're done with this one. I'm pretty happy. Ta-ta.